Okay, hello everyone. I'm Ragnar Sepp from ByCycle Working Tool, and today we have an event, personal organization with ByCycle, and our participant is Chishomyo Munyama. Chishomyo, could you please introduce yourself, tell a bit more about yourself, about your project, about why you started your project, what's your goals, and what's your plans for development of this project?
My name is Chishomyo Munyama, and I'm a 21-year-old game developer and student. Yeah, I'm also the founder and CEO of a small indie game studio called Nativity Game Box. And Nativity Game Box basically aims to bring in aspects of innovation and creativity while promoting things like entrepreneurship and also general innovation among the youth.
Okay. Why you decided to start this project? So, what was your main idea? Like,
Uh, I
what
started
I mean,
Nativity Game Box.
what made you so? You wake up once in the morning, or you was in the bus, or what happened? So, what's pushed you to do this stuff? Yeah.
I always had a passion for bringing together people through creativity.
Okay.
And I also always had a passion for introducing new skills and promoting a lot of innovation. And
Mm-hmm.
so Nativity Game Box was one way I could bring together the youth, especially in my community. And what other fun way to do it than through games?
I see. I see. So it's you have a very nice idea about how to do it, and you decided to proceed completely with games, not with some sort of events organizations or other stuffs, but with computer games, right? Since normally computer games they divide people. Everybody sits in its own apartment, and does nothing. Uh, you have a different vision, right? Yeah. Okay. So. Then we can proceed. We can proceed to our main topic today. We proceed to event on personal organization. Let me open the presentation itself. So, personal organization with ByCycle working tool. What's important to understand here is that the information which I will share today, it's came from everyday practice, and it's not that I wrote some books, I read some books, or watched some video. It's something what I was using, I used in throughout of my life, and what helped me to go uh, through complex periods of my life and to get to some success and to deal with survival. So we will go talk about this through in our uh, our event today as well. So what's important to understand that I can talk for myself, right? I can share my tips, I can show how it works, but it's already to show me only on you. It's from your side. It depends. Will you be using it or not? It's already according to your situation. So this is already out of my control, out of my responsibility. The only what I can do, I can share very honest and practical information which actually help you to proceed and to get more efficient, let's say. Okay, and one more stuff. We'll have six topics. For each topic, we have one additional slide, and mostly I will be talking, but also I will make you some questions about yourself. So we will see also what you will answer about them. So in this case, you just unmute and say the answer to your question. Okay, so without further ado, let's start. Let's shoot. So Our first topic is think, plan, create, click, create, record. So what is this? Um, our project, as you already know, is named ByCycle, and ByCycle is actually two words. It's like ByCycle. So at one point, I figured out that everything in our life, everything, completely everything, goes in cycles. It's always beginning, then development, finish, and then transition. And then again, beginning, development, finish, and then transition. And we have cycle also for any creative activity, including any business activity. It doesn't matter which kind of business. It also works for studying. It works for everyday work. It works for everything. So this is one of the, let's say, basic cycles of our life. And these basic cycles of our life is think, plan, create, and record. And then basically rinse and repeat. And again, think, plan, create, record. Why this cycle is so important? Because such a huge problem of lot of people, like procrastination, yeah, like constant chronicle pushing your work onto tomorrow. As we know, tomorrow never comes, but people still go, okay, I will do it tomorrow, Munyama, I don't know, not today, but after 1 month when I will be ready. So people tend to push stuff like forward, and because of that they cannot achieve much, and they cannot become successful. And the main reason for that is that people ignore this cycle, or they got stuck in one of the parts. Uh, Also, we are naturally uh, more attracted to one part. So one people they're more attracted to thinking. Some people they're more attracted to creating. Somebody is recording and somebody is planning. But since other parts of this cycle are being ignored, because of that, um, people doesn't achieve as much as they could normally achieve. So what I see from my observations about other people, I see that a lot of people they stuck in or in thinking or in creating. So you can see that a lot of people, or they like just wake up in the morning and just doing all the same work they are always doing, that's creating, or wake up in the morning and just start to think about different topics, but those thoughts they never go into real actions. While because they overloaded with the think part of this stuff. And yeah, and why this cycle, understanding this cycle and keeping this cycle constantly in mind is so important, because it helps you to move forward, to create dynamics. So if you are a person which likes to plan a lot, then you should be thinking on the further step on to create. Then if you are otherwise thinking a lot, then you go to plan. If you are recording a lot too much, then you should start thinking about your work and about everything. And then when you develop a habit of, okay, I'm thinking, then based upon what I thought about what my thoughts are, what my ideas are, I start to plan them. I start to organize them into some kind of possible actions. And after I plan them, I start to follow those actions, and I start to actually do them. And after I created something, I record my results. And upon those recorded results, I think again, I move to plan, I create, I record, and then when this plan starts to go to work normally, this cycle becomes like a sort of inner engine, like it's like some sort of engine of your boat, let's say.
Your inner engine.
Yeah, it starts to push you forward. So Chishomyo, I would like to ask you here, what is your favorite part of this force? What do you mostly tend to do from your perspective? Hello.
I also tend to follow a similar plan. Yeah. I think first it's always important that we must implement whatever we plan into action and prevent procrastination. And I think procrastinating is something that affects a lot of, especially young business people, but not only business, education as well. We tend to procrastinate a lot. So when we record what we do and implement what we do, I think it's a much easier way of getting along with the things.
Yes, it's in this cycle. It means that you start to do a bit more, and with doing a bit more, you actually can start uh, showing higher performance. As a badminton player and badminton coach, I can say you that the difference between basics amateur player and between a professional player is that professional player is doing much more about his like performance when he even on the court. So like beginners, they tend to do everything really simple. They try to say to find the simplest and the easiest ways to play, but professional players, like highly skilled players, they are trying to think how to add something else. What could they be doing differently? So they are putting much more efforts into their performance, and that's why they are able to achieve some success. And idea of personal organization, we will see it in the following in the following section, to go to success mode of your life. Uh, but here, to finalize this particular point, I would like you to ask, what is your favorite part from these four, which personally you like more doing more in your life. So, for example, I am doing more thinking. Yeah, one of my customer from my legal business, he is all about creating. He is all about creating. He doesn't record, think, plan. He just creates. So, what's about you? What's your major characteristics?
For me, my major characteristic is implementing. I
So,
find it easier and more reliable to implement things. Yeah. So I focus mostly on implementing things. If
right.
it's, let's say, I'm making a game, instead of just drafting it down, I focus on just getting it started. I just implement it. And then later on, as I go down the road, I start now to further on plan it more.
I see. Then, for you, a natural advice would be then to think more about recording and start to record more about what you're actually doing and what's results of your activities. So you can record as for your personal use, so that information which you record about what about your results, you can actually also share on different social networks on your website after you will have it, and in this way you make yourself more visible, and it also boosts you to the following stage, thinking, yeah, and then planning and then creating. So if you are right now in more in creative shape, then for you your next step would be just simple recording of everything what you are doing. Okay. Yeah. So Chishomyo, for this moment, do you have any questions, or we could proceed?
Yeah, I actually have a question.
Okay.
So, what's one of the ways that can be the best ways that you can implement things? Let's say you have a problem with procrastinating a lot, and you're always saying, no, I'll get this thing done next time, I'll get it done next time, what are some of the ways that you can avoid procrastinating things?
Yeah, right. So that's exactly the point of this cycle. So procrastination means that you're pushing the create phase like forward. So that's the time to sit into the boat and start rowing. So creating, but since you have no plan and you didn't think much, you have not prepared, let's say, ground. Sometimes I see that to start some work, I should I need first to think about this work, just to imagine. Okay, for example, tomorrow I want to make accounting, but I don't like to do accounting, but I have to do, and I feel it's like it's some sort of pressure on me, and then it comes, and I just think, okay, now I have to do it, and it's like, but I don't want, and it's like some sort of inner fight, and subconsciously you start to push this work like forward. But so what I'm doing, I start to think about this. So okay, accounting, how this work is done. This I go there, I download statements, I open my accounting forms. Yeah, so I take this. So I'm thinking about this work, how I'll be doing this work. Then I start to plan. So I go already to ByCycle. I take this accounting task. I put it to some place, and I am already focusing. So okay, I planned that I wake up 11 o'clock. I am working with accounting, and I'm keeping it like sort of active. My goal, this is my goal. Imagine that if you want to fly to Germany, to Berlin, you keep it in mind that you are flying to Germany. Yeah, you can have several like connected flights. So first you fly it, for example, to I don't know, to Addis Ababa, then from Addis Ababa to Istanbul, then from Istanbul to Milano, and then from Milano to like to Berlin. And while you are flying there, you're still keeping in mind that you're going to Berlin. The same is here. So you are thinking about this, you're planning, and you keeping in mind that okay, what's my next step? What my next work? And and this is how you move forward. So procrastination normally means that you have to do some work which you don't like to do or you don't understand how to do. So like one of them or both of them. So you don't like, don't understand, or you one of them or don't like or don't understand. And to deal with this, what you start to do, you start to think about this and you start to plan it. So after you start to think and plan, you start to understand this work. So it's only that you don't like this work remains, right? But when you're thinking of it and when you planning it, it doesn't look so unpleasant anymore, and you actually don't feel that you don't like this work anymore. So you're actually more like natural, or even you are thinking, okay, actually, I will wake up tomorrow in the morning, and the first thing I will do accounting. Normally, I don't like it, but things I thought about this and I planned this. I am actually ready to create, so I will just go and do it. And that's the main issue why procrastination happens. And after you create it, you go to record, you record what you have done, and then you think about following task. Yeah, following task. For example, already writing code. Then you think, okay, how I will write code, how I will open GitHub or whatever place. What's your repository? Then you plan which code I will write first, which code I will write second. Maybe I will write some algorithm, some step-by-step to-do list, and then you go to create. And this is how you how you move. We will we will discuss it a bit.
All
Okay,
right.
so let's move. Have I answered your questions, by the way?
Yes, yes, you have answered my question. So thinking, planning, then creating,
And then recording, yeah.
and
And
then
for you,
recording. Yeah.
yeah, and for you, since you are more of a creative person and you like to create and dealing with ongoing stuff, so you should right now keep in focus more how to record your life, record your thoughts, record your ideas. Maybe you start to write some diary, this kind of stuff, and then you will have this motivation that, okay, I have not done anything today, what I will record, and then you already want to do something just to record something. This is already some inner booster. Okay, let's go forward. So this is think, plan, create, record. This is the basic cycle of any creative activity. Yeah, and now the second our second section is idea of personal organization. Why we are even doing it? We are doing it for the one word, and this word is efficiency. Efficiency means that I can achieve more with less efforts. And that's basically the goal of personal organization. Let's imagine you want again to travel. You can just grab your stuff and throw it into the bag, or you can put them beautifully all together and place them into the bag, and you will see that you will have much more free space in the bag if you will just throw everything inside without any order or organization. And the very same principle applies to everything, and to studying and to business as well. And so basically our main goal of personal organization is efficiency. And why we want efficiency? Since our life, let's say on these visuals, we can see that success in upper part, survival is in the bottom part, and we have this arrow in between. Yeah, so this arrow in between, orange arrow, it's actually our life. And in our life, we actually go in or more of success part, success mode, or survival mode. And personal organization is something which helps you to follow the path of success rather than of survival. And to understand everything more clear, what is success? Success is not when you have a lot of money and everybody knows about you and all the girls like you or stuff like that. Success is achieving results as planned. So first you plan something, and then when you achieve the result exactly as you planned, then it's success. So you are successful. So for example, you plan to make a cup of coffee, you make yourself a coffee, and now you are sitting and sipping this coffee with milk or like whatever, means you are successful, means you achieved success, because you planned to make a cup of coffee and you achieved this result, so it's successful. And survival means existing on insufficient resources. Basically any starting business, any startup, any studying, also students, it's all about survival. So survival doesn't mean that it's something bad. It just means that you have less resource that than you would normally want for your regular activity, right? So when you are overloaded with stuff, when you don't have enough income maybe for your stuff, when you don't have enough people in your team, when you cannot create a product or a value which would be interested for other people on the market, then it's more of survival.
Survival.
Yes, and it works in the way that if you follow this personal organization, then you naturally move to the success mode. If you are just exist, basically, if you just follow the flow, as soon as you start follow the flow, you go to survival mode. And basically, those waves of this arrow, they basically show that, okay, now I started. When it goes up, it means that I started something. I switched on my inner engine. I start to organize myself. So I go to success path. Then I got into some chaos. I stopped recording my life. I don't think much about my work because something else is happening. Maybe I got in love with some girl, or maybe there is some my favorite like football team is losing, you know, and I lose focus, I don't pay attention to serious stuff. So then I naturally go into survival mode. Then I think, okay, something is going wrong in my life. I start to organize
Something's going
myself.
wrong.
Yeah, it's you understand, right? So it's basically, it's not that
Hmm.
you organized yourself once and forever. It's more like a pump that you're like
Yeah,
pumping up. You know, if you don't pumping up, it just starts to go to degrade and go down.
degrade. Yeah.
Yeah, and basically the idea of personal organization is to develop habits when this success path starts to happen naturally. When it's already starts to become a part of your individuality, that things we are talking today in this seminar, they just become not something which you have to learn or which you have to apply, not some sort of burden, but already some sort of beneficial tool for you. And now I have a question for you again. You have your project, yeah, and you have your resources for this project. So I would like to ask, what can you accomplish with what you have now for for your game box?
The resources that I have, I'm able to accomplish smaller projects. So I can say I can be able to accomplish a small amount of success. And so, yeah, smaller projects, small amounts of success at a time.
Yeah. Um so for you right now, it would be interesting again, as we talked, instead of speaking about projects, to took only one specific idea. Since I totally understand there can be a lot of different games, you take only one specific project, only one specific
Mhm.
game idea, and
Mhm.
then proceed with this. Since as far as I understand right now, uh, you don't have
A big team.
a big team or some sort of
Yes.
venture capitalist just pouring
Yes.
money into your project and say, look, I give you
Mm.
$1 million, and then you just burn them down, right? I don't think it's your stuff right now. uh,
No, it's not. Yeah.
yeah, and basically getting there, it's already something when you learn to exist on insufficient resources, and when you
Mm.
learn to plan your results according to resources which you have. So
Mm.
it's actually the major tricky point of success. It's not of the
Yes.
hard work, actually. It's not of that much of the hard success or being motivating or
Mm.
stuff like that, or luck. It's that you able to plan something. If you don't have anything planned, you basically cannot get result as planned, right? Since you don't, if you let's say if you don't know where to fly, you will not fly. You will be just standing on in the looking around,
You will
right?
fly.
Because you don't know, you'll be looking, okay, like departures, right?
Mm.
What's your plan? What exact city you want to fly to?
Mm-hmm.
That's how it started. So you cannot, meaning you cannot get successful if you uh, we come back to the circle, if to the cycle, if you do not plan. So if you
Not
don't
plan.
plan, you can kiss success goodbye, meaning that you will
Mm.
be always in the survival mode, meaning you will be always
Mm.
existing on insufficient resources, or
Resources.
yeah, or what's even worse, it's when you get into between, in between success and survival. Uh,
Mm.
it's I call it like that point, you know. Uh, what I can bring an example, when they show this heart rate and it goes like up down up down up down, right? And
Yes,
when
yes.
person like person dies, it goes just
Mm.
straight line.
Flatline.
Yeah, yeah, all right, flat line. So here you see more of this heart, like heart beating regime. So it's more natural when it goes like this. because when it goes just a flat line, it means you're totally dead. So if you have a flat line, you are not much surviving, you're not much succeeding, you're more like existing, you know. So you have you can see it a lot among the people which are stuck in some work, so they have some sort of constant income. They can live from this income, so they're not surviving. They don't think that they surviving or something. They're not in hunger. They can pay the rent. They can maybe buy something for themselves. But as well, they don't plan anything. They don't try to achieve any results. So people get stuck in between. And for those people, of course, this word efficiency means nothing, because like efficiency for what? You need efficiency or to break out of this survival like circle, let's say, or to proceed success. But if you are just fine with what you have, if you are in this in between success and survival, then efficiency mean nothing for you. So just to finalize this point, you can deal right now with one minor project in your studio, Game Box Studio, right? And to get somewhere, you plan something about this project, what you want like to do, and as long as you start achieve these results as you planned, you start to feel success, and you start to feel yourself motivated to move forward, and or to develop the same project to grow it bigger, or maybe to add another project, smaller project as well, and go this way. So it's already up to your situation. Okay, let's go forward, right? Yeah. Now we come to focus and pay attention. Focus and pay attention. It's maybe the key point of human existence. You know, what I can see around of my exploration and from badminton again, from coaching, from playing, the major issue for most of the people is focus. People are too much about everything and too less about something very specific and particular about what they'd like to achieve. Yeah, so people tend to lose themselves in noise and stay there. And to understand what attention is, you know, normally we use such word as time, but time is a tricky word. Believe me, I'm a lawyer. Time is a tricky word. Nobody quite understands what times mean. But what's attention is much easier to understand. Attention, I'm paying attention. Yeah, we say I am paying attention. I am drawing attention. I want to bring some attention. So
Attention.
I want your attention. Yeah. So actually, attention, your personal money. And when we say here insufficient resources, the first resource which you have actually is your attention. People don't tend to think that attention is something valuable, but actually, attention is your personal money. It's the way how you deal with it. And this attention actually has a specific number. So actually, like money, you know, when you have
Yeah.
1 million kwacha, let's say, it's specific number, and the same you have with attention. There is some specific number of attention, not more, not less. This specific number, we will cover it.
Specific attention.
A specific number of attention, yeah. So you can actually measure it, and this is your personal money, meaning that you are spending your attention on the constant basis. And here on this diagram we can see different circles, right? Different. So it starts from the noise, then we have think, plan, and create, and this is already focus. Object you pay your attention to, and normally what you can pay attention to is to the thing which you are creating right now, to think, to planning, to thinking, or to something else, which I call noise. Noise is something which is irrelevant to your life.
Progress.
yeah, which is irrelevant to your project, which has nothing to
Yeah.
do with your personal life, and it doesn't affect you in any way. For example, who will win following attention elections in USA, Trump or Biden? It's 100% noise, 100%
Yeah.
noise. What's happened there in Europe between different countries, like war has happened there or doesn't happen, it's again for you, it's noise. When
It's nice.
say, like Botswana would invade Zambia, we hope it will never happen, but again, then maybe it would be something to think about, then it would be not
Yeah.
noise,
Yeah.
it will be, maybe you will plan even something, maybe you'll start creating
Mm.
about this, you understand, you see my
Yeah.
point, right?
I
But
do.
till that point, the relationship of Israel and Iran, for example, is nothing of your concern, to be honest. And the same of different stuff. I would not, how to say it, say about this right now. The point is that what's important that you think about your life, you think about your attention, you understand that okay, it's my personal money, it's very valuable resource since I have insufficient resources right now. So I actually want to decide if the thing I'm paying my attention to is worth my attention. This is another saying, something worth my attention. So
Worth the attention.
yeah,
Yeah.
so basically noise means this stuff is doesn't worth your attention. That's it. And what's focus? Focus is object to pay your attention. So imagine that you have you're a sniper at war, let's say, or like whatever, and you have a sniper rifle, and when you look through this target, yeah, like right, you focus your attention, you focus yourself to one very tiny specific object, and the more you focused, the more the more the higher chances that you will get to the result, that you will
Yeah.
have a successful shot, right? But now, wait a second, I have a call. I will put our call for the pause, our recording. Give me 1 second, please. Yeah. So getting yourself to the focus, and what you can like like focus yourself upon is these three main things: thinking, planning, creating. So we're basically coming back to
To the cycle.
yeah, to where we started from, exactly. So we're coming back to the think, plan, create cycle. This is what you're trying to keep your focus upon first of all. And again, as it's already experience from not from business, from badminton, that you cannot achieve high high level of performance without high level of focus. Why its focus is important? Because for high level of performance, for high performance, professional level of performance, you should possess some some sort of unbeatable feeling of confidence. You are confident that you are able to win your opponent. It should not be affected by anything, and this confidence is 100% built upon your focus. So the more you focus, the more you confident, and the higher the performance you can show. Since as a badminton player, I can play really high, like put all my efforts into, or I will like really relaxed mode. And the same, it actually the very same ideas are applied to like to the business. You can be focused,
Yeah.
or you can be somewhere else, like unfocused.
Somewhere else.
Yeah, then you will not be uh,
Very efficient.
you will not be confident about yourself. This is what's the problem.
No.
If you have let's imagine that focus is some sort of table, and this table has a limitation of how much of confidence you can put on this table. So the
Yeah.
smaller is this table, the less will be your confidence, and therefore the lower would be your everyday performance.
Mm.
And right now, a really fast question for you personally, Chishomyo, how do you focus and what are you paying attention to?
Um, well, for focus, I normally, if it's in regards to how I normally develop my projects, I focus on one thing at a time. So you focus on one project, and then you get a piece of that project and you build it up. So maybe let's say this week you're only focusing on maybe let's say art. This week you're focusing on maybe only music. This week you're focusing on the like.
Yes,
So
wait, I
mhm,
mean that if you have lost your attention, for example, you was focusing on art, but then something
mm,
happened, maybe something in your personal life, maybe something in university, maybe
mm,
something you read from the media, and you lost your attention completely. You lost your focus. So how
oh.
do you have any personal technique how to get back focused? What's your trick?
Well, my main technique mainly I can say is to just help avoid losing attention and losing focus by putting myself in environments where I know that I'm going to achieve the highest level of concentration. So let's say if I'm developing, I would want to be somewhere in a closed room where I cannot get easily distracted by what's around me.
Exactly. I see. Yeah, it's actually one of the working solutions, like working tips. A lot of people are using it as well. That you take all distractions away and you start to do the stuff. Okay, wait a second. I will. Uh, yeah. Okay. And then second part of the question is what are you paying attention to? So do you have some sort of chart or a map of the major topics of your attention? So, have you ever took a paper and just thought, okay, normally, like last week or last month, so basically normally on my, I'm thinking about this, and this. So I'm basically paying attention to this kind of stuff. Do you have it?
Personally, I don't have a proper chart like that, which I think is something I need to implement because I think it would, if I had a chart like that, I think it would really help me focus. So I can say that's one of the reasons maybe that affects focus is because I don't follow a proper chart. I just kind of think up things like, no, today, okay, I'm going to work on art. Next week, I'll say, okay, today I feel like working on sounds. Today I feel like working on this. So I think I really need to implement such a program.
Yeah. So here, what I could advise, it's just to take a paper and just to write circles, and in those circles you write major topics of your attention. So for example, you take your normal day, yeah, and from this you say, okay, what I'm paying attention to, I'm paying attention to my project. One, I'm paying attention to my study, I'm paying attention to, let's say, media, I'm paying attention to social networks, I'm paying attention to some people, I'm paying attention to some my some sort of dependencies, and then you can see from those what you're paying attention to. So you make it totally for yourself, just to see the clear and honest picture of what's happening in your life, right? And uh, and then from that point like you say, you know what, I don't want to pay attention to this kind of stuff anymore, since I see that it's maybe interesting, it's amusing, but it's noise, or like, right? So I can straight away say that all short videos on YouTube and the TikTok, it's 100% noise. There is basically nothing there, and it
Mm,
affects our mental and intellectual ability and our brain frequency in a very
mm,
very bad way. So I was there
Mhm.
like myself, but I get from there really, really quickly. So I just get, so
Yeah.
I see some people, they just sitting all day, and you just see them endlessly scrolling. It's
Noise.
yeah, this is noise actually, and but what's
Mm.
important that people are paying attention to this stuff, they, because they think that their attention is for free. No, the attention is not for free. Your attention is valuable as much as you value it yourself. So if you think that your attention is cheap and worth nothing, to the point that you start to scroll this TikTok or like whatever, then it will be like this. But if you'll say, I have my project, I respect it, and the attention what I have, it's really valuable, so I better invest my attention into my project than I would be wasting it onto some meaningless activities. And basically, after you will start to treat your attention as your money, you will see that the very same attitude moves to the actual money as well. So you start to think, okay,
Yes, yes, yes.
this kind of payment, they are basically kind of waste, but this kind of
Hmm.
payment, this is something what I would like to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so, and this is how we go. Again, I'm sorry, it's back. So existing on insufficient resources. So this is how you raise efficiency of using your resources. Okay, with focus and pay attention, I hope more or less clear. Let's move on to the following step. Right now, it's already algorithms, game changer, and game winner. If before we talk more basic rules of how it goes, right now I am talking about very, very 100% practical stuff. It's already from my personal business activity, and I see that without algorithm, not business, there is no business which can exist on algorithms. So, what is algorithms in its essence? Any of your activity, basically, what's work? Work is focused activity to achieve some specific result. So when you focus on something, on achieving some result, is it's a work, right? And this work can be categorized in three main types, kinds. So one type it's tasks, another type it's projects, and the type
Hmm.
is events. Tasks,
Events.
projects, and events. And so this is all the type of work which you have. Your work would be or task, or project, or
Hmm.
event.
One event.
Yes. And algorithms, they work first of all with tasks. So for projects and events, you basically don't need algorithms. What you want to have algorithms for is for tasks, not for all tasks, but for tasks
Mm.
which happened regularly, right? It's one part. Or when they are like more complex, let's say, right? So, for example, such a task as cleaning apartment, right? This is a regular task which you perform regularly. So then it makes sense to have an algorithm of how you perform this task. What is algorithm itself? It's order of actions. The point is that you cannot do two actions at the same time. You cannot have a meeting with a possible customer and write code at the same time. Nobody's doing this. You're doing
Yeah.
one or another, right? So you
Yeah.
are trying to put all together. You want to, as you said already, we want to focus on one thing per
One thing
time.
at a time.
Yes,
Mm.
and the idea of algorithm is that it breaks down your regular task, your regular work into some steps. And remember, in the beginning, I told you that procrastination happens when you need to do some work which you don't like and which you do not understand.
Mm.
And very often,
Yeah.
some task which you don't understand, or some task which is regular. You think, okay, it's
Mm-hmm.
regular, like cleaning apartment. I can clean apartment today. I can clean apartment in September 18, right? So it can wait.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
So I
yes.
can basically push it. Nothing is like world will not collapse. Your house will not explode if you not clean
Yeah.
the apartment today, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
have this temptation to push this work forward.
To push the work
That's
forward.
Yeah, that's why for regular tasks it's so important to have algorithms, because when you break these algorithms down into steps, then you start to
Mm.
eat the snake one bite per time. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
how I can bring it into another example? Some work I call it as a strawberry. Strawberry. You
Mm.
just take and eat it, easy. But
Yeah.
another word is more like watermelon. You cannot like put the entire like watermelon into yourself, right? So you need to cut
Yeah.
it.
You have to cut it into pieces.
Yeah, divide it, and then it has seeds inside. You need to take those seeds outside. So there is a lot
Yes.
to be done, right? So
Mm. Yes.
you can actually divide into steps, and then
Mm.
you will still be able to eat this watermelon. And
Mm.
right now, I an algorithm how to make
Mm.
algorithms. So it's funny stuff. So this is actually what you see on the screen right now. It's actually
Mm-hmm.
algorithm how to make algorithms. So what you do, first of all, you
Mm.
take a regular task, then you break this task into steps. So we take a regular task, clean
Mm.
apartment. I break down this
Mm-hmm.
into steps. So for like put garbage away,
Yeah.
clean dust, then vacuum, then clean glasses,
Mm-hmm.
then
Mm-hmm.
in the order. So the point is that algorithm is not just a list of action. It's actually there is some sort of logical consequence. So
Mm.
I cannot do this before I done this, and or I should not be
Yeah.
doing this one if I haven't done this. So, for example, if I'm clean apartment, it's clear that I should throw away garbage in the end of the cleaning, not in the beginning, because in the beginning I will be
Yes.
collecting garbage, right? And I want to have
Mm-hmm.
some place where I will collect garbage, and basically throwing garbage away would be already the final step of my algorithm, right?
Yes.
Break down. So you
Yes.
think again. We come to our favorite already cycle. You first of all
Thinking.
about your regular tasks, and then you basically
Mm-hmm.
when you plan
Plan them out.
this stuff and you write steps down. So you actually create
Mm-hmm.
a written list,
Mm-hmm.
and then on each of the steps of this algorithm there can be some sort of details, some
Mm-hmm.
what you don't want to keep in mind, but what's important not to forget. That's why you want to have algorithms, because sometimes you just forget to do something, and because of that it doesn't work, or you achieve result which is worse than you expected. This is kind of stuff. So that's why it's important to describe important details, and then after you have this written, you keep them somewhere in ByCycle. I will show them, and apply when needed. So for example,
Mm.
thought, okay, I'm feeling that I would like to work with the sound, right? So
Yeah.
sound. So what I will be doing first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and so on. So it's written.
Mm-hmm.
Since you are working with sound on a regular basis, it will be always
Yes.
uh, because normally it will maybe working with the sound could be a bit like a burden, a bit like a heavy, like feel as a heavy. But when you
Yes.
cut it into stuff, then and especially when it's a regular task, then you
Mm.
massively simplify your personal life, your
Simplify the
life,
personal
yeah,
life.
stuff. So here I would like to ask you a question: how do you deal with regular
Mm-hmm.
and complex work on your side?
With regular and complex work, I also implement the same system. I break it down into smaller steps that I can follow.
those smaller steps, are they written somewhere or you just keep them in mind?
I just keep them in mind.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, you remember my first advice was start with
Yes,
small.
write it down,
Yeah,
record.
so you see, it's actually very, very practical what we have right now. Okay,
Mm,
but very good that you have at least a vision of step by step doing work. That it's important
mm,
that you do not do sound that today you do sound one way, next time you do sound some different way, because it's important.
mm.
It's a risk that you can forget about something, you know, and then
Yeah.
something's not working. Why it's not working? And then you start to waste your attention, which is your money, onto
Mm,
onto trying to find why the result is worse
mm,
uh, than it normally is, right?
mm, mm,
Okay, and now let's move forward, and we have the final section of our seminar today, uh,
mm,
which after we will wrap it down since it's already almost 1 hour. It's enough.
mm,
We will better do with you than another like second part of our event already working with ByCycle.
mm,
I will show you how everything is can be implemented in ByCycle. So
mm,
again, as I told you that we have one major cycle, which is the
mm.
think, plan, create, record.
Create.
We have two major cycles of distance, let's say. We have everyday
Mm,
cycle and we have weekly cycle. And this is
mm.
important to follow them. And this is important to understand that if you ignore them, then you will be in survival mode, like in survival mode. Since, for example, if we take this cycle here, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I believe that from your personal life, from your personal experience, you can say that all those days are different. That Friday is not the
Yes, yes.
same as Tuesday, and Sunday is never the same as Monday. They are totally
Mm,
different days with different energy, with different attitude, and with different
mm.
plans, let's say. That is why
Very different.
yeah, that is why you cannot be treating Friday as if it's Monday, and you cannot
Mm,
in Wednesday as if it's Saturday. You know, that's important. That's one part. Another part, as we spoke already about attention, and I told you that we have the exact number of how much money of attention we have, and this exact number is
mm,
16. 16. And you know why it's 16?
mm. Why is it 16?
It's 16 because it's 24 minus 8. 24 minus 8
Oh,
to 16. 24, it's a cycle of 1 day.
one day.
Yes, basically, as a people, we tend to live like big life of 70 years, of 80 years, of 100 years. But when we go to personal organization, when we go to creativity, to dealing with our business projects, everything, all your life actually goes uh, into 1 day. So only today is important, and that's why this section is called "Revolution Starts Today." A revolution starts.
Revolution starts today.
Yes, that everything what happens, you can actually look in your life or other people, and you will see that
Mm,
everything what happened, whatever happened in your life, it was all today,
one
you
day.
know. It was not that today you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh, tomorrow evening I got some unfortunate event, so like stuff, you know, because you don't know what will happen tomorrow evening, you know.
Mm,
And when tomorrow evening will come, it will be actually today's evening. That's
yes.
and since we are sleeping 8 hours, we have 8 hours of our attention goes into sleeping,
Yeah,
like
into
recovering,
sleeping.
and the actual life which we do have, it's not 70 years. Again, to the question of procrastination, you know, it's actually only 16 hours, and this is a sort of relief because
Mm,
when you wake up in the morning, you like think, okay, I have 16 hours of attention, it's my money. what I want to pay attention, what I want, you don't put any burden on yourself, but you are
Yes.
asking what I want to do today, what I am personally want. And it's not that somebody made me to do it, it's something what I want to do. It's something when you go to a shop, nobody says you this buy this not buy, right? It's your personal decision when you spend, where you spend money to. The same with your attention.
Yeah.
You wake up in the morning and you go. So here, as you can see, the idea of this cycle is starts at 6 o'clock, finish at 22. So uh, this is ideal option. At 6 o'clock, we have the highest level of focus, the highest level of energy, the highest level of brain performance. It's just
Six
neurobiology.
o'clock.
Yeah. Uh, and then you can see that during the day our battery like loses, and
Drains.
yeah, some sort of inflation. It happens inflation that what you can buy for 1 hour of your attention in the morning, you cannot buy the same in the evening, because
In
in
the
the evening
evening.
your attention would cost less. In the evening we have the cheapest attention. In the morning we have the most
The
expensive.
highest.
So
Yeah.
this is during the day attention loses its value.
Its
And
value.
following this cycle of starting waking up at 6 and sleep at in 22, it's what complies with our biological rhythms. And for sleeping, for recharging, the best way to go is to go sleep at 22 o'clock. And this is also one of the purpose of uh, procrastination. It's feeling yourself chronically exhausted, that you are like all the time tired. You can see a lot of people say,
Always
"Oh, I'm
tired.
I'm so tired, I'm tired," and you just keep hearing how people say, I'm tired so much." And one of the reason of that, because they go sleep at 2 o'clock and then they wake up at 8, then they run
Okay.
to their work. They are at their work at 10 o'clock and they didn't sleep enough, they didn't recharge their battery. So basically, when they wake up in the morning at 8 o'clock, they have their battery on the level of 18 o'clock. Then on this energy of 18 o'clock, you are trying to go through 16
Yeah.
hours. Like that's the reason. And another, it's overeating and eating after 18 o'clock. So it's a good habit to develop. Going to sleep 22, waking up at 6, and not eating after 18, but actually even ideally after 16, I would say. So 16 should be the last time when you eat, and then
Last time you ate.
yeah, then you only can drink something. Because why? Since the feeling, I know it as a badminton player, the feeling of
Yeah.
tiredness, of exhaustion actually comes not from training, it comes from food. So if I,
Oh.
right, if I would, let's say, before tournament, I would not be eating for 2 days. I would perform much better than if I would have a good dinner just before the tournament. So if I eat today evening, I eat in the morning, I have tournament, I would perform much worse than if I would 2 days just not eat at all. Overeating is a huge destruction of focus, to be honest. And so eating should be taken carefully, let's say. Yeah, and the same idea with Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That I understand that each person has its personal life, personal conditions. What's important here is you can see Sunday is staying a bit like outside. That Sunday is a thing on its own. It's totally one day at week. Doesn't matter, are you low or high, or are you succeeding or surviving? Doesn't matter. One day of the week belongs only to you. And this one day of the week is basically the day when you totally relax, recharge, you sleep, you enjoy, you maybe go to eat something, you maybe go for a walk, maybe you sleep again, so it's totally the day which you spend for yourself, and where you paying attention for your personal for getting this joy of existence. Maybe you go to the I don't know, to the river if you have something, or to the lake to have some swim, to bring to live for yourself, because from Monday till Saturday it's basically you are some sort of in a rhythm, in the regime. You're waking up 6, going 22, or maybe otherwise you can actually go wake up at 8, go sleep 22. It's just important that you don't go sleep too much after 22. So 22 is basically should be your last, maybe 23, but try to go sleeping in between this 22, 23, since we have biological rhythm in our brain, and this is the best time for sleeping. This is the best time for recovery. But for example, on Sunday you can sleep till 14 o'clock, let's say. It's totally fine. So there should be one day which is completely yours. And then uh, again we have this cycle here: think, plan, create, record. And the cycle works in the way that in the evening you think, in the morning you plan, during the day you create, and then in between you record, let's say. And then again, think, plan, create, record, think, plan,
Create record.
yeah. And this is how you put this in between your day. So
Mm.
planning, it's also important part of doing stuff, because
Mm-hmm.
planning is what makes you successful. If you're not planning,
Yeah.
you can never be successful. That's
Mm.
like that. uh, and again, I'm speaking too much, but let's move
Mm.
uh, to the our question, and then really really fast we will cover the final section. How do you plan anything
Okay.
for today? So
Uh,
yeah,
Planning.
how do you
I
plan?
don't have a proper written implementation that I used for planning. Yeah. But mainly, I plan the day according to activities that need to be done. So if let's say I'm having school in the morning, I'll say, okay, after school, then I can plan. Maybe I work on my project. Maybe I go for a walk at this time, and the like.
I see.
Mm.
So this was a tricky question, because you cannot plan anything for today if you don't have a plan for the week. So before you start to plan anything for today, you should have a
Must
plan
plan
for the
for the
week,
week.
right?
Uh,
And then from this plan for the week, you're looking at this plan,
mhm.
and you say to yourself, today I want, not I need or I
Mhm.
have, but exactly I want
I
to
work.
do these specific tasks from
Mhm.
my weekly plan. So if you don't
Mhm.
have any weekly plan, then all your every plans, those to-do lists, they basically uh, really really low on efficiency. They're really
Mm.
you will be rewriting them, you will be ignoring them, you will be forgetting about them, and then next day it will start from the very beginning. So
Yeah, that's very true.
without proper weekly plan,
Weekly
you
planning.
cannot have proper daily plan. That's what I wanted to say. What's important to understand. Okay, and let's move to our
Mhm.
final, very short stuff. It's we talk a lot about think, about plan, about create, and now we'll talk about record. And
Mm.
record, it's a new calendar tool, a new approach to calendar tool. So normally, if you will go to any calendar tools available on
Mhm.
the market, they are more for sort of planning. So to put
Mhm.
yourself events or work which will happen in future, right? But the new approach, it's much more smart approach, and which proves to be very very efficient, is approach of that you consider calendar tool at the place where
Mm.
you record your life, first of all.
Yeah.
So no matter what you have done today, no matter,
Mm-hmm.
you just go to calendar and you fill entire calendar with everything you
Mm-hmm.
have done today. This is record.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what pushes you to start thinking about your life and makes you to start valuing your attention. Now you start to
Mm.
actually see that, wait, Ragnar told me I have 16 hours. I actually thought that I have
Yeah.
70 years. Have something like to argue here. But now I
Mm.
start to record my everyday life. I actually see that, yeah, I actually have 16. I cannot spend
Mm-hmm.
16. I can spend
Yeah.
actually 20, but then I will be sleeping for 3 days. So the normal regular resource which I have my attention is 16, and that's
Yeah.
I start like recording. And here actually Monday plan create record thing, Tuesday plan
Mm-hmm.
create record thing, and then on
Create
Friday I
record
sleep,
thing.
sleep and drink beer. You know, but still, even if you think, okay, on Friday I should have been working, but what I did,
Mm.
I just sleep and drink beer. You know, you still
Mm.
record this because it's some sort of your becomes calendar becomes some sort of mirror of your life. It start
Mm.
shows you what's your life about, because you may be thinking, I am inspiring entrepreneur, I want to build a business, I want to do stuff, and then you go to your calendar, you look your last, let's say, months, and you can actually see that you are not dealing that much with your project, that there is a lot of
Mm.
stuff happening in your life which is not related to your project, and actually
Mm.
on the how much attention you spend to your project is not actually the
Project.
main expense. You are not paying
Mm.
your project is not the something you're paying the biggest part of
Attention
your
to.
attention, and you cannot understand it without this habit of recording your life,
Mm.
and it was actually a huge found for myself when I'm in ByCycle. We have calendars, so just written for this design for this specific with this specific idea, and
Mm.
I have like color differentiation. And for ByCycle, for my project which I'm developing, which I like very very much and believe into,
Mm.
I put purple color. And for noise
Yeah.
and for all the distraction activity or some sort of ongoing activities, I put gray.
Mm.
And now I look that in the end of the month, my gray expenditure of my gray time, so
Mm.
basically what was noise, what was wasted attention, was
Mm.
let's say 120 hours, and
Mm.
what I actually spent on ByCycle was let's say 60 hours. And after this, you actually start to think, are you actually dealing with your project, or you are just living in your imagination? Is it actual project, or it's some sort of your illusion which you like to believe into? It's a very harsh stuff, and I see that not so many people are
Yeah.
uh, have courage enough actually to look into this mirror of their everyday activity. But this is something what it's not painful at all. When you start to do it, then you start to feel
Mm-hmm.
yourself relief, and it starts to give yourself boost and motivation to actually achieve something, to start planning it and become successful in this successful way. So my
Yeah.
last question to you is, Chishomyo, what's your life about?
What's my life about?
Yeah, what is your life about?
My life is about is based basically mainly around creativity. I
I
like
see.
creating things.
Right. So this is a tricky question because the right answer, I do not know. You can only answer the question,
Oh.
what is your life about, after, let's say, 1 month of everyday feeling calendar. Then
Oh.
go to a time report, look on the time report, and this will answer
And see exactly what your
what
life is
is
about.
your life about exactly.
Ah.
Very nice. I hope it's clear. Thanks a lot. And this will be the final moment of our today. Wait a second. Yeah, doesn't work. Okay, I'm coming back to you. Thanks a lot to your for your attention, and I would like maybe that you right now share some of your thoughts, some of your vision, what you get from the seminar, and some of the feedback, maybe what you'd like to say.
What I can say is I've learned a lot. Yeah, I've learned a lot, especially planning, thinking, creating, and especially recording,
Right.
and also about how attention is and focus is one of the biggest currencies we have, and also how we only have 16 hours
Right.
instead of 70 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can say that I've learned a lot, and definitely I think these are things that everyone needs to implement. Yeah.
Okay, very cool then. So, for the moment, then let's say we will divide our seminar into two parts. One part which we have today more of theoretical, and for the
Mm-hmm.
next week, the same time, let's meet again and go through the practical part. So how we can
Mm-hmm.
apply those all those ideas and how we can actually start doing something about our lives. So what do you think? Would you
Mm.
like to try it?
Yes, yes, I would actually. I'll be
Okay,
more
very
than
good.
happy to.
And I would like to hear about you next week, which, uh, how to say it, what boosted you, which results you achieved, maybe what
Uh-huh.
progress you made. So we will see how it will work. Okay, so at this moment, thanks everybody for your attention. Chishomyo, thank you for your attention very much. And see you next week then. Bye bye.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Bye bye. Ciao.